And Sting will play us out. Yeah, that's how I feel about coaches who don't foul up 3 late stages. Tom Izzo, again, does not do it. And yesterday, hey, it helped Michigan fans, which is fine. It's the principle. Greg Gard, what are you doing? So we're talking golden rules. I think it has become one. It is a fireable offense if you don't foul up 3 late in the college basketball game. Another golden rule. We don't pay running backs. And now we get to the newsy portion here. MLB's new rules. The pitch clock, the bigger bases that look like, giant spaceball helmets. But this weekend, the pitch clock debuted, and it gave you about a 2.5-hour baseball game. And there was a moment, Red Sox, I think it was Red Sox Braves. Game ended in a tie because the guy didn't get in the box fast enough and got called with strike 3. You have 8 seconds to get in the box. If you don't, it's a strike, an automatic strike. So people are going crazy, going, oh, my God, baseball will never be the same. These rules are amazing. All right, so let's step back for a minute. First of all, I will always have doubts when new rules get implemented into old traditional sports that you'll ever see them really enforced during the regular season. Much less do you really think they're going to call somebody out on strikes in the ALCS. Do you really think they're not going to show some grace on the pitch clock in the World Series? And you go, oh, how can you say that? Easy. I watch the NFL do it with delay of games every week. How many of those have you witnessed? And you're like, wait, that's a delay of game. Just kidding. And then they give you the ridiculous, well, I have a personal watch on, and it's not the one on your TV screen. So I'll believe that when I see it. But let me explain this about these rules. While I love them, I don't think it will do anything for baseball as far as ratings, as far as popularity, and as far as generating new viewers and fans. So let me explain. One is baseball is from a bygone era. It just is. It's a sport of complete start and stop. That's not how we watch things. That's not how we're programmed. Hell, watch a football game, which has play stoppages. But it's a game of immense physical violence. It's a game of incredible action. People are still on their phones. The NBA, college hoops, hockey, you have stretches of 4 straight minutes without a stoppage, 5, 6. People are still on their phones. But in baseball, you have to wait a full minute to see a singular pitch. It's a dead sport. Now, what these rules are going to do is preserve what they have left. I think it'll hang on to baseball fans. People like me are tired of 3-hour games. We're tired of the shift. I'm glad they got rid of it. We're tired of the home run or bust mentality. Like, I do think the bigger bases, the new pickoff rule where you get 2 pickoff attempts or pitch outs, and then you can't throw over to first. You know what that means? I got a green light to steal the damn bag. I do think it'll encourage players to run more. No, we're not going to see Ricky Henderson. But I think you could take a guy who might be able to steal 8 to 10 bags. That might become a 15 stolen base guy. The 15 stolen base guy might be 25. The 25 is where you get into it. You go, 25 could be 50. Because the reality is if you don't try to pick him off, if you don't throw over, they're going to take a lead that is so big, and they're going to get such a jump, and then you have to factor in that the new bases that are bigger than a sombrero, aren't the bases legitimately 3 inches bigger? It's insanity.
Correct. So that makes it 6 inches closer when you're
right
on each end.
They look like banquet trays.
They're huge.
It's unbelievable. I do think that will help. I think it will help baseball that if you hit a 110-mile-an-hour screamer, that no, you're not going to have the second baseman playing right field. These things will help. But I don't believe It is going to bring people to the sport. Because I don't think, like, when's the last time you drove by a baseball field and saw kids playing on it? Seriously. When? Now, as far as baseball goes, I'll watch baseball. I like baseball. But they already had me. I don't think these are going to fix the game the way so many people hope. But my question, David, is do you believe these rules are here to stay? Because this is what always happens in sports. This was why this is the third of the golden rules. Are these golden? Will the pitch clock, the pickoff rule, the bases, and the shift, will these rules be here to stay? I always wonder in sports when you see rule changes. Always. Will they be here to stay?
See, I think Major League Baseball may be implementing this the wrong way.
What do you mean?
Too much at the same time to where I think that a lot of these will be gone within 5 years. I don't think the bases are going to stay. I think they're going to go back to the original bases. I don't think the pitch out and the throw in the first base or whatever, I don't think that's going to stay because I still don't think it's going to have an impact on stealing bases. I really don't think it's going to stay. The one that I want to stay is the pitch clock. I do want that to stay, but I'm very afraid that teams will not adjust enough. It will make too much of an impact on teams where it won't stay.
Look, the shame of it is, I guess it's good the Tigers are starting Rebuild 2.0 with the rules changes because now Scotty Harris can pivot. I do think you have to have athletes. You have to have a team that is going to be able to capitalize on some of this. Look, the stolen base thing is legit. If you can't pick a guy off, and if you try and fail, now I can't even throw over, and I'm already, these bases are the size of a sub sandwich. You're like, you know what? Those are free bags. They matter. The shift being gone, I think it matters. But overall, look at all sports right now. How many of you out there watch a game start to finish? How many? Not many people in the real world. You got kids, a mortgage, a job, whatever, responsibility. You're not taking. People don't have time. So if they're not able to watch the sports that are filled with action and continual motion, that's why baseball just doesn't, it's not going to save it. It'll just preserve what's there. And do I like the changes? Yes. If we had a ball club that was playing for anything, I think it's a way more interesting discussion locally to say, hey, does this help us? Does it hurt us? Like, I'll give you an example. A team like Kansas City or a team like Cleveland, who have always been in the business of manufacturing runs, I think this helps those teams. Like the Yankees are totally changing their scouting. And the Yankees are totally, like when you look at the players the Yankees are signing, but when you look at the players the Yankees are bringing up, these guys, and I'm not going to geek out and start naming Yankee prospects. Everybody calm down. I'm making a point. They all can run. They're all athletes. You're going to go, wait, the Yankees are stealing, but yeah, they are. So I think in that sense, the Tigers are so far from being even remotely watchable that I almost wonder, will the rules be around by the time that they are? David's right, guys. It's not hyperbole. Baseball's dropping a bomb on itself. These rules are a lot to take in.
And that's the thing, because and here's the reason why I said I like the pitch clock, because I've seen it in AAA games. I've been personally to a few games, and I didn't see a drastic difference in it affecting the team.
Look, I think in the batter's box, it's always been something. I don't need to see a guy adjusting his glove and scratching his nuts and taking 30 seconds. Stay in the box. I like the fact, hey, if you're not ready but the pitcher is, it's a strike.
And
I like that.
It felt more natural when I was watching it. I think the pickoff play, when you can't and you're limited, I don't think that's baseball. They need to be able to throw the ball and try to pick off a player or runner however many times they want. That's just baseball.
248-539-9797. Look, it's a day of rules, and I just want to see where you're at with it. And I know, believe me, I know the Tigers are it's unfortunate, but it's the rebuild 2.0, and it can't be worse than the last one. But these rules, when and if the Tigers get decent, they're going to matter. I think they're going to matter how Scotty Harris shapes the team. I think they're going to matter with the type of players you have. Going to matter with how you watch your team. But when you are one of these teams that, I mean, the Tigers, I don't know. Do they win 65 games this year? Maybe. I'm never going to call for a professional team to win 55. But you get my point. And as a sport, here's the problem with baseball. You're not watching teams that are out of town. Sunday night football, you'll watch Jacksonville play the Jets. Sunday night baseball, I don't care if they dig up the bodies of the 27 Yankees. You're not turning on ESPN and watching it. You're just not.